It's your girl Karman Kush, and you're tuned in to Smack Life ENT. Make sure you stay tuned in with me. Okay, it's your girl Karman Kush, and I don't even know how to describe myself or what I do. I guess I feel like I'm the media goddess of sex, or the sex goddess of media.
Okay, that's lit. So how long you been into the media outlet?
I ventured into that. Well, I guess I can honestly say since high school, but for real, from what I do currently, the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay. And your platform is Kush and Konvo?
Kush and Konvo. Yeah.
Okay. And how you come about that?
I stumbled into that kind of, I would say like on accident in a sense. I just started to venture out into the showcase scene, the local industry music showcase scene, and started to meet different people and wanted to really know more about their background. And me, myself, my nature is sex. So people tend to look at me and they get this sexual sense and tone, and I tend to venture into those types of things. So I found a way to mix music and sex together.
That's a great mix.
And talking, and turn it into an interview show. And so it's a show where I interview individuals in a bedroom setting in lingerie, and we discuss their artistry, and most of it is behind people who do music, but I've interviewed people who do comedy, who do media, who do photography, things like that. So it started in music, but I ventured into other facets of artistry and sex. And so I interviewed them about their artistry and their sex lives.
Okay, that's dope.
Karman Kush on everything. Karman Kush, KarmanKush.
And for people that want to get in touch with you and try to get interviews on your platform, how do they do so?
You can hit me on any of my social media platforms or email me at kushandkonvo@gmail.com, KUSHANDKONVO@gmail.com.
Okay. You remember who your first interview was?
My very who did I get in the bed first? I don't even know. I'm not sure.
You know which one of your most memorable, your favorite interviews you've done so far?
So far, I think my favorites might be Davy Ruffin and APAP. They were double team. I had them in the bed together. It was my first threesome. And they are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, comedy is my favorite form of artistry and movies or things like that. So yeah, they were by far my favorites.
That's alright. So who, other than them, who's some of your DMV comedians that you follow?
The other comedians are like Stickum.
Okay.
Stickum, APOP, Davy Ruffin. Oh, Crank Lucas. Oh my God,
yeah,
he
probably
is.
Funny as shit.
He's up next. Season 4, you're gonna see Crank Lucas. Gotta come get in the bed with me. That man is fucking hilarious. Who else do I think is funny? Right now, off the top, those are the few that I can think of.
That's alright. Okay. So you had a team of models?
The Kush Dolls.
The Kush Dolls.
I did. I started them, I believe that was season 3. It might have been season 2, the end of season 2, but season 3, I thought about bringing in some young ladies. Along the way, I came across some young ladies who was interested in my brand and what I was doing and just wanted to be a part of the movement. And so I thought of a way to incorporate them by making them called Kush Dolls. And what they would do is come in and assist me on set. They serve the guests. They serve as ambiance on the set, just bringing extra sexual sensuality and beauty to the scene. And just bring some extra atmosphere. So yeah, they would come in and serve drinks, roll up the J's because we smoke on set. They bring snacks, food, just laugh, things like that. It was really cool.
That's dope. So with the pandemic going on, has that like, how's that been affecting how you move?
It has affected everything. I haven't been able to film a goddamn thing because we have to stay 6 feet apart. You gotta
Right.
wear masks. We can't even book. I was shooting in a hotel. Well, actually, for season 4, when I was going to start back up, I found a set that I was gonna start filming in. But before then, I was using a hotel. But right now, you can't really book hotels. So,
Right.
like, it slowed up everything. I completely haven't filmed anything, and so until this really clears up, I can't.
Okay.
Because where I was going to film at is in someone's home. They do an Airbnb, and so somebody I partnered with, they saw what I was doing and wanted to incorporate it, and they have a really nice, sexy bedroom set that I went to go see, and I'm excited to use. So I'm like excited to start by filming, and I can't. So yeah, I need this shit to go away.
Yeah, me too. Who's your influences like in doing what you do?
Just anybody who can sell sex and remain professional at the same time, because in this game, like, people see me, and because of how I carry myself to an extent, because I don't carry myself disrespectfully or overly sexually, but I just have a sexual energy. Like, the way I just come off, people just pick up this sexual exude that comes off of me. So with men, naturally, they don't know how to take it sometimes. Some do, the most mature of them,
Right.
but the ones who aren't, it can become a bit much. So anyway, those in the industry who are able to exude that and come off well, so like a Nicki Minaj, or let me think of another one who is good at that, like a Cher, or
Okay.
just women who are able to they're constantly beautified, they're curved, they're curvaceous, they wear like outfits that show off that, and are able to still remain professional, remain sensual, and demand respect and get it, and so those are the women in the industry, and men who can do that and get their point across. So yeah.
How you find that balance to like? Yeah.
I think the fact that a lot of people don't know how old I really am, the fact of my age and being able to still look so young, so me being so mature for my age and youthful looking for my age, and so being able to have both of those, I'm mature because of my age, and then I still look young, so people think I'm young, but I'm actually older. So me being older, I'm able to be mature and carry that, and be able to do this and know how to do it without coming off like a slut or a whore. But it sometimes it gets a little tricky, because I've come across people that I find myself attracted to. Like, this is somebody, either their attitude or their energy I'm attracted to, or just how they look, or so it gets a little tricky at times.
Right,
I won't fake.
Who you looking at as far as like? All right, we're gonna go rappers first. Rappers in the DMV. Do you got anybody, the up and coming rappers, or even the people that's been out? Anybody you listening to?
Yeah, I do actually. Let me see. Who was in my I'm
about to get a Kush and Konvo shout out.
Okay, so I like Lulu P. I'm a big fan of his. I actually came across him when I came into the coming to the showcases and things. A lot of the people that I came across from coming to the showcase, which is why I'm kind of glad I got into that scene, because I really didn't know about a lot of the local artists, and I probably wouldn't have if I hadn't.
Right.
And so now I find myself listening to more of the local artists than I do nationally recording artists. So anyway, Lulu P, Ariel 202 is a young lady.
Yeah, I met Ariel before.
You did?
Yeah,
I haven't
she
met
lit.
her yet.
She
Oh,
lit.
wow. Yeah, I like her. Somebody turned me on to her music. I like her.
Yeah.
I can see big things for her. Let's see. It's a young guy named Keon Doe, Super Tripper. Let me see. I'm scrolling through some of the ones I just was listening to. Kenny Black, Dave Moe. Rue Pratt.
I fuck with Rue Pratt too.
Yeah, I like her. Oh my God, like she is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like man, yeah, she's a beast. She's a fucking beast. She's one of the slept on in this city.
Yeah, she like that.
Super Tripper. Let's see who else. That's the name of a few. Oh, Baby Nino. Yeah. Those are the few I just was listening to lately.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a lot of freaking talent in this area that I was sleeping on, and I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've been listening to these people but for the last 3 or 4 years since I've been filming, yeah, they've been catching. A lot of people been catching my ear from the area. I fuck with them.
That's tight.
It's a lot. That's why I brought up about Tony Reds, like that we lost somebody that was really, really for the city. He really was bigging up these artists from the city. Like I would start researching the people that I wanted to research for my show. I would come across his interviews, and I didn't realize he had interviewed so many.
And he was doing it.
Yeah, we lost a big one.
Great. Would you ever start doing like showcases? Like,
I would love to do that. I would love to somehow be, and that, I mean, so that's where I started doing interviews at showcases.
Okay.
And then from there, I wanted to get my own platform. So yeah, I would love to, if I could go back to doing that, or somehow start throwing showcases or hosting them, or doing something to involve myself. Yes, I would love to be involved in that.
How that go when you was interviewing them at the show? Like you would do it, like
either before they go on or when they come off, or just people who was coming out to support other artists that would just happen to be there. Like I had hooked up with Elway.
Yeah, shout out Elway.
To the city showcases, so that's who put me on to a lot of what I'm doing, and a lot of people in the area. Shout out to Elway. I fucking love him. I love El. He's like the Tony Reds of the showcases. Like he puts on so much for the city, and he's the reason why I know a lot of the people that I know about in the city. So shout out to Elway. He's a great guy. But yeah, I linked up with him, coming out, and just keep coming out. I managed to meet him, started talking to him, and then getting to know him. He put me on to doing the interviews. They asked me to do the interviews, so I started doing that, and that's how I got into it. So yep, shout out to Elway.
That's alright. Shout out El, man.
Yeah, I fucking love Elway.
Do you think that the DMV artists sound alike?
I think that there are a lot of unique sounding individuals who have their own unique sound that I would consider either just their sound or could be a DMV sound because they're from the DMV, but I really would consider that person's sound.
Right.
Then I have people who that I feel like sound like other people who are nationally recording artists.
Okay.
Then I feel like there are people who sound like other DMV artists. And then I think there's a DMV sound. So I think there's a sound where I feel like nobody else and I feel like that's like more of the sound of people using the slang terms that we use.
Yeah.
So that's our sound. And then, or the dialect of how we say certain things. And then there's people who have their own way of saying things, and like then there's people who mock those people. So those are the ones I say mock the other people. And then I feel like there are people who have just their way. So like Lulu P, nobody sounds like him.
Right.
And I don't think he sounds like anybody. So there's the Lulu P sound. And then there's like I don't want to say because then there's the artists that sound like other rappers who are already out. I'm just because if you interview me again, I'll be bold enough to say I'll speak on that.
Alright.
Then there are let me see, people who use a lot of the slang from here that I can say have the DMV sound. So maybe who could I say? I can't think right offhand who that would be, but it is some artists I feel like say like Mo, and just a lot of the shit that we say that only we say it, so it's foreign
to everybody. They
right?
Like,
what the fuck
about?
Does that mean? Right? And so I feel like that's our DMV sound, and then so I feel like we do have a distinct sound, and I feel like there are people who rap like other nationally known, right? Like I feel like they feel like that person's on, so they need to sound like them in order to get on.
imitating and stuff.
Yes.
I feel you.
And but they don't think they do that, but yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they don't think that they do. Like, nigga, you know.
Maybe it's denial. Maybe they in denial. Man, I don't sound like that nigga. He sound like me.
I've heard them say that. I'm like, nigga, he's on though.
Yeah.
The fuck do he say? He don't know you.
How he get your flow, bro?
But if that's what you want to believe.
Alright, so quick segue to live music, because we got different types of music than everybody.
Okay.
So we got go-go here. Like, do you have a top, say,
Backyard.
3 band? Oh, Bucks.
I mean, that's what I grew up on. I grew up somewhat of Essence, like my earlier years growing up under my older siblings and older cousins. They would listen to Essence and Chuck, so I kind of grew up under that. But when it became to knowing the bands or owning my own bands, it was Junkyard and Backyard.
Okay.
And a little bit past that, I'd say TCB came in, and then the TOBs and all that. But TCB would have been the last of the later bands that I kind of gravitated to before I would just say Backyard.
The OGs of the bounce beat.
Yeah.
What would be a good way for DMV artists to push together? You know, like how the South was the South. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. To an extent, I think it's happening. It just has to. To an extent, the music scene is bringing together a lot of different people, because I've seen a lot of collaborations of people who normally, I mean, their neighborhoods aren't close together,
right?
So otherwise, beyond music, I don't know what else would have brought them together, because they don't hang together or anything like that. But I do think that that is bringing the music scene here is bringing because outside of the music, the streets wasn't, the go-go wasn't bringing, that was actually bringing them further, but they come and fight and shit, or be, you know, combative in the go-go, more of the trying to get their hoods put on and called out and shit like that. I think the music scene is what's gonna bring the hoods together, because it's more guys now trying to get into, or more guys from certain hoods getting into the music scene, and them fucking with other people's music and wanting to collab is bringing, I think that is bringing the collective, and going to bring what, like the ATLs and the Texas and all of them and the Calis have. I think that is what is going to bring us together.
Okay. Alright, so as far as go-go, do you think that go-go could go global?
It was. I don't think now. I think back in the 80s, back when like the EUs was getting in the Spike Lee movies, and it had a time when it could have. At this point, I don't think. I actually think it's phasing out.
Yeah.
Go-go ain't what it used to be back then.
What was Mochella? I want to say that Don't Mute DC. That really brought everything back, because before that it was dying out.
And for some, I think if we don't get past this Corona shit in enough time, ain't nobody gonna be going to go-go's by the time we get the fuck back out here. If we even have go-go's happening at that point. But yeah, I think this Corona shit could be the death of go-go to an extent. But yeah, it seems like it's phasing out. I remember it used to be a time I went to the go-go every fucking day. Like, I didn't give a fuck if I had to go to work the next day. Like, I made it happen. It was like, if it was a go-go being had, I was there. Like, it wasn't just for the weekend. It was Wednesday, Monday. It was wherever it was at. Thursday at the Met, here at the Black Hole, here at the, like, I was there. If it was out of town, downtown, I was down North Carolina with it. I done been to Puerto Rico. Like, dog, I was everywhere with the go-go. I done did this shit everywhere. So I ain't there no more. I couldn't even tell you the last time I really been to I really go-go. Like, I've gone maybe, you know, or back playing here, they had a little joint, I might go. But when I go-go, like, this shit was my religion. Like, I had to hear my name. Like, that shit was, had to go get the fit for the That shit, yeah, ain't been like that in a long time. That shit was real. That was my, like, I ain't play no games. It was to the mall, go to work, go to the mall, go get ready, go get high, go to, like, that shit was real.
Yeah.
And we do it all over again the next day.
Straight like that.
Those was the days, man. Shit.
Hell yeah.
And it's funny because now when I listen to tapes from that era, I just can remember that day. Like, I'm like, damn, man, that was the day we went to the we did this and that. Man, you remember they was fighting like shit in the... Yeah, it's like you can remember that shit. It's like a reunion.
Like a, what you call it, audio photo book type shit.
Oh, yes, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly, I mean, it takes me right back.
That's alright.
Oh, the Mad Chef days. God damn.
Hey.
Woo! Good Lord.
Shit. Alright, so Sparking, would you rather roll Leaf or Sheets and Fun?
Leaf. And the only reason, put it like this, I can't even roll Sheets and Funnel because I roll Leaf so much. You need more saliva for Leafs, and when I try to roll Sheets, I wet them up too much.
Ripping them down and shit.
And so I go through more Sheets trying to get high off one than I be done smoked the whole backwood pack. So just stick with them.
Alright.